I'm tired. I'm a bit tired. I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. I'm tired. I think the chemical imbalance in my brain and living with bipolar disorder, it's not easy.
Guys, listen to me. I need you to grab the biggest bowl of popcorn, a drink, a glass of wine, a bottle of water. I don't care. Get real cozy and listen to me. I am going to bring you down the rabbit hole with me on this story. It will blow your socks off. Unfiltered. Welcome to all my new family members on this channel. You're gonna love it here. Thank you for joining the fam. I see you. Listen, guys, we are going to bond later. Click a like, click a subscribe for your girl, click that notification bell, and let's go. I don't know if you ever heard of this guy, Joseph Okuntakinte. This is an influencer that gained hundreds of thousands of followers through this euthanasia plan that he was on. For the people that think, I didn't hear it correctly, did she say euthanasia? Yes, that's what I said. What's euthanasia? That is a plan where you want to end your life. This guy gained not only hundreds and thousands of followers, but he gained dinner invitations to people's houses, GoFundMe money, everything. Now this story, and I'm glad I waited a while because there is so much coming out, guys, and there are very few people talking about it. Now TikTok is picking it up and Instagram a little bit, but this story should be way bigger, especially because allegedly he scammed my girl, SZA. Guys, wait. So this guy, Joseph, he was born in the UK. He went back with his family to Ghana when he was 5, and he basically grew up there. He did his whole college thing, his high school, everything in Ghana. Now, this all started, I think, in 2016, maybe 18. He started this project, and this project was called the Noldorn Residency Project, where he wanted to create a space for artists to work freely and to be able to make art, maybe even live there in the future and then make this whole community. People were very keen on this idea, like, wow, this whole residency and we are going to create art. What a nice project. And the one that initiated it, which was Joseph, or Okuntakinte, as he calls himself on Instagram, he comes from a very renowned, very rich family. So I assume people were fairly fast thinking, okay, this is legit. Come to find out, these people never received their money for the art that they were producing. Basically, he owned all the artists' rights to their art, and he's been selling the art and they've been producing. Now, some of them got some money, but a lot of them didn't have any money. And he put out statements like, listen, guys, we need to be patient. Like, sometimes, not because it takes long, doesn't mean the money is going to come. All the while, he racked up a $350,000 of amount on this art. Now, there was this one artist that said, hold up now, hold up. Where's my money? I'm going to let you listen to this audio that he sent one of the artists.
I told you that we have had banking difficulties from offshore. It's not that complicated. You aren't the only one who's been, affected by this, and many artists have been very patient. I can't stop you from seeking legal advice, but you will have to pay your legal team. And at the end of the day, we are all trying to fight for the same thing. Believe you me, like I've said several times, just because something is taking long doesn't mean it's not going to happen. You may be frustrated, you may be very, very, very stressed, and I understand that. But I have no interest in keeping your money from you if it was with me, or if there weren't issues from a banking point of view. Whichever lawyer or person you bring to me, that is what I will tell them. So be patient.
So he never really took any action for those people losing their money. And so, poof, that whole residency project dissolved. Now, when the heat was started to rise, he actually packed up and he went to Amsterdam, the Netherlands. So he initially came to the Netherlands because of these new anti-gay laws in Ghana that were put into place. So his initial thought to go to the Netherlands was to just be free and to live his best life and regain back his power. But then 9th of December came. This message is now deleted. So on December 9th, Joseph put out that he, after a long process of 4 years, was finally approved to go through with his euthanasia plan and end his life on June the 30th. And guys, I want you to remember this date, June the 30th. Very important for later. You'll see why. Now he really was getting traction and people were like, what? This guy is planning to end his life? Like, what's going on? Now, he gained a lot of followers by only stating this one thing.
Hi, I'm Joseph. I'm bipolar, and I moved to the Netherlands to legally end my life.
Now, on the back end of this, something beautiful started, which is the Last Supper initiative. With this whole movement and him putting the message out, people started to actually invite him to their homes and cook him dinner. Now, he went all across the globe. He not only went there for a free meal, but the people also paid for his transportation. They paid for sometimes even a ticket. So it just became this whole thing. Hence why also SZA had a dinner date with him. But we'll get into that one later. This sounds beautiful, right? Really touching, really positive. And it was. But not long after this initiative started, the first cracks started to show. Sometimes he was late. And then sometimes not showing up to these dinners, he would still ask the people, can you send me pictures of actual food you cooked so that I can still post it? And the audacity. But people were like, what is this? Like, I spent hundreds of dollars on this food and he didn't show up. Sometimes he went to these dinners and unbeknownst to the people, he then started to make pictures of their face really close up, made pictures of their hands and whatever, sometimes even the kids, and it became really weird. And one time he actually went to one of his dinners and he was recording in black and white, I think. I'm not sure even, because he loves his black and white. He loves being very poetic too. He is, if you asked him, a poet too, and he writes poetry, which will tie into this whole narrative. But we'll get to that later too. We are not done yet, guys. Not by a long shot. He played with one of the people that he attended the dinner. He played with their child. And this is what he said actually after that dinner date.
Just shared a Substack of, and I wouldn't say which dinner because I don't want to, incriminate this person. When I tell you this woman said to me that, I wanted to talk to my 7-year-old son about maybe if he wanted to go with me. Sorry.
Now, when he said this, there was one of the people in the comments saying, listen, if this is actually what the woman said, then you have to report this because this seems kind of scary to me. Now, when that person said it, you would think that he was like, oh, thank you for your advice and I might look into it. No, Joseph blocked that person. You still following, guys. You still following me. All right. People were complaining about his supper and him not attending and whatever. But remember, that whole residency project that he left in Ghana, where he did not pay all these people, that was still pending. Let's move on to Illy, which is his bestie, as he calls it. This woman kind of took him in, and he met her, I think, in one of his dinners. But actually, the story is that he came for or flirted with her man, and that's how they became friends. Now, where you hear that, this, well, YT people, is this something that y'all do? Because there's no way you flirt with my man first, and then we become besties. But maybe, I don't know. But he actually lived with them. So in 2023, he met Kuhinde Wale, I think his name is, or Wale. Don't, guys. He met this famous artist. He's actually famous for one of the famous paintings of Obama. He actually painted this. Now, this is what Okuntakinte does with everybody. And we'll look at SZA and the rest later. But he does this with everybody. Where when he meets you, to have some notoriety, he tends to really lash on to people. So he did that with Kuhinde too. He sent him like 30 messages tagging him in 2023, on his birthday, and it was a whole thing. Now, mind you, he only met the guy once. All right? Okay. Now is the time you really need to follow me. Disclaimer. I am not saying the guy is lying. I am not saying this is a cash grab, quick money scheme. I'm not saying this. But I do have my thoughts about this. Because suddenly he came out that this guy, Kuhinde, actually sexually assaulted him. Now, SA is, of course, a very serious crime. Accusing someone of that, you should really have some type of evidence. Victims were coming out and were like, wow, I was SA too, and this is so terrible for you, whatever. Once that traction starts, he was like, listen, I want to sue Kuhinde for doing this to me. And people were like, yeah, you should, or whatever. Then he said, but I don't have the money really to do this. Mind you, he comes from well-to-do family. Let him tell it. They kind of distance himself from him because he's living this free gay life. So he put out a GoFundMe to actually sue this Kuhinde. But peep this. He never sued him, guys. There was never a lawsuit put out. Now, he accumulated quite some money. But remember, he had to pay the people for the residency. So my philosophy is, which still has not come out, because as I'm talking, guys, this story is developing. My philosophy is that he put out the whole GoFundMe and the fake storyline of a lawsuit he never filed because he needed the money, allegedly. You following me here? But then people were like, all right, wait. But let's go back to the main cause of this all. Like, what's actually happening with the date? We really haven't seen him talking about his actual date of having this assisted death and this euthanasia process. So people started asking him questions like, listen, we have no malice. This is just a serious question. Like, you are accumulating all this money and whatever. Is it really for all these good causes? In the Netherlands, it's actually legal to get euthanized. There are, I think, like 3 countries where this is really legal. But the legality of it is, it has to be done by a doctor, and not just any doctor. I mean, they will really have to specialize in these type of issues and things. Are you just eligible and just applying and saying, I want to end my life? Of course not. It means sometimes it takes even years, because I think they leave like a window open for people that might change their mind, because sometimes young people do it too because of chronic pain, sometimes of mental, such a strain and pain. This is what they chose to do. But listen, you cannot go on with this process if you are a undocumented immigrant. I mean, you have to be like a resident. You have to at least have some sort of papers, which Okuntakinte does not have. But you've seen him on several interviews. Now, these interviewers, I was baffled because nobody really asked him, listen, can you really do this?
I am exploring assisted euthanasia where it's legal in the Netherlands because I was diagnosed with chronic bipolar disorder when I was 16.
So is part of this process of you making it so public and putting yourself out there and sharing your message with the world and seeking validation?
No, I don't know if I'm interested in continuing to exist as a human being. I'm honestly not sure.
Nobody asked him the question. And I was like, this is so weird. That was overlooked. Why was it overlooked? Because of this beautiful initiative. Everyone was like, nah, but this is wow. We really feel for this guy. The dinners just kept going on and going on. So he basically started to build an empire from this pain, his mental illness. So he has PTSD, he is bipolar, so all these mental illnesses, he threw it. And people start, okay, but what about the due date? Like, what's going on and whatever. This is when Emmanuel came to life. Now, guys, where do they do this at? So he actually said that Emmanuel be euthanized on July 30th. To me, it seems like he wants to shift the narrative. So he wants to get the attention off of him to Emmanuel, so that people might be confused or like, nah, he never said he was being euthanized on July 30th. That was Emmanuel. You know, this is how it comes off to me. So call me crazy, but I'm sure I'm going to do a follow-up on a follow-up on a follow, and we're going to hear that I was right. Watch. Posted a picture of Emmanuel as a small child, and guys, in the pit of my stomach, I was like, listen, could this be a fake picture? Who is this? Come to find out, he posted this picture, right, of Emmanuel as a child. Now, he also posted this picture of him just, doing an ode to his friends and this wonderful friend. Come to find out, this is a Reddit picture. Stick a pin in it. We'll get to that later. My God. So this Emmanuel guy came to life. He made a whole persona of this Emmanuel. And he went on with his dinners, and Dolce actually follows him. He got an invitation from SZA to attend a dinner or attend her concert. She actually invited him to come to America to attend one of his shows and then have dinner with him, the Last Supper. But he was like, no, I can't travel. Because by that time, I believe that his visa was already, he outstayed his visa. He wanted to stay in the Netherlands or whatever because, he was making money over there. I cannot travel. So what did SZA say? SZA said, you know what? When I come with Kendrick Lamar to Amsterdam, this is what I'll do. I will give you like 2 tickets. And he was like, oh, I'm going to bring Emmanuel, because he made this whole persona out of Emmanuel. Guys, he did not bring Emmanuel. He brought Ely. So he never brought Emmanuel. Why not? Because I feel Emmanuel does not exist. The Reddit people, they're with me. But tell the Instagram people, they're kind of on the fence still after lies and lies. Guys, look at this Reddit. It just goes on and on and on about people talking about his scamming ways, all the way to Ghana. Even Ghana made a Reddit thread about all the money he owes in Ghana. Guys, this is crazy. So SZA came to Amsterdam with Kendrick Lamar, and lo and behold, they actually went to dinner.
And the Grammy goes to Solana Imani Rose SZA!
And in true Joseph fashion, he clung on to SZA. Now, after they went to dinner and I think SZA didn't even post him. She posted, some spaghetti picture or whatever. But after that, he posted like, oh, SZA, it was so nice. And your bodyguards were there and whatever. And I was like, what kind of psycho are you? Because my God, if you were there with somebody and you were having dinner, that person was there too. How are you stating every little bit of detail from that dinner? Wasn't she there? My God. Yeah, but people didn't catch on. I was in the comments like, what is going on here? He was just constantly tagging her. Let alone, he only met her once. And I'm sure SZA was like, okay, nice. He put out a picture that she brought tears into, made a whole poetic post, which, if I was SZA, would creep me out. She wined and dined this guy, not knowing that she was having dinner with a full-on, full-fledged, I'm going to say it now, scammer, allegedly. Now, this is where the Reddit peeps are coming in, because Reddit was like, la, 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 la. People might not talk about this. This is not getting too much traction, but we're going to eat his ass up. So the Reddit people started to ask questions. They were like, listen, what is going on? First you said you would go into the SZA concert with Emmanuel. Where is he? You went with Ely. What is going on? You are not attending all these dinners? What about the due date? What is going on with that? And what about us reading that you owe tons of money? Now Kuhinde came. And he was like, listen, I met this guy once. Sexually assaulted him. He sued me. I never got sued. Like, what is going on? Guys, if I tell you, there were hundreds of people raising their hands with stories about him and these dinners. I'll put them up on the screen. Pause it if you need so you can read. But they were like, listen, He came here and he was actually very disrespectful. He stayed for 10 minutes. Sometimes he came 2 hours late. Sometimes he just came, took a picture, and then went. The stories went on and on in this Reddit thread. It was getting real crazy. Real crazy. So Joseph felt the heat. And this is where it gets even crazier, guys. Because there was this one follower, and this follower was like, all right, listen, we are really approaching July 30th, which was last week. They were like, we're really approaching the date. What is going on, Joseph? Like, we hardly hear you talking about it. You are posting, things about clothing and fashion and, just living a life, which is a very good thing. But what's going on? He was like, listen, I can't live life. I'm still depressed. He kind of brushed it off. People were really up in arms. More receipts start coming up. He came out with a couple of statements as well, being real pissed and all. Guys, now he felt the heat and he came out by saying, Mommy, I'm engaged. Yes, guys. This is the statement. Let me put it for you on the screen. Dear Mommy, I often miss you, but I appear to be making decisions that only further inspire our distance. I want you to know that this is Alexandre. He is 29, graduating from Harvard in spring and currently traveling across Europe. We're engaged to be married. I'm sharing this almost absurd news with you in the throes of deep ambivalence, because while I understand the blasphemous disappointment with which you will receive this information, a part of me still wants you to share my naive joy. I can't make this up. It goes on and on. I'll put it on the screen. So people were like, hold up now. What's going on with this whole euthanasia? You're getting married. And he was like, clearly y'all didn't read too well, because I just want to see where life will take me. I'm not so sure about me going through with this whole euthanasia anymore. And people were like, what? So Joseph put out a post now that he was getting engaged. And the post on Instagram said the following. Yes, I sometimes eat big croissants with both hands. I'm weird. But more importantly, so what if I decided my life is worth living because of the community I've built? My bipolar disorder won't disappear, and I'll still have diagnosed PTSD from sexual violence. Why does my credibility have to come from actually ending my life? I'm still pretty broke and an undocumented immigrant. But what if I choose to keep living just to see how far I can go? I'm sure you can go very far with all the money you have racked up now from these innocent people and their mental disorders, inviting you to these homes. Because, guys, all these people have some sort of alliance with this mental illness, or they know somebody. He really played up on their weakness. I've spoken with Dutch nationals who have qualified for assisted death and changed their mind, and some who are still on the path. Also, did you see what happened to Charlotte Fosgate? Did you see the comments on Vitriol after they found her body? You guys would probably still bully me after I'm dead and gone, so it wouldn't even matter. So this is my advice. Report my page. Find new and existing ways to bring me to my knees. Shout for accountability. Call me a grifter. Invest time, energy, and resources stopping me. But I'm going to do what's best for me. Guys, if I tell you balls and audacity, guys, I've never seen anything like it. All the while, he's getting brand deals. I saw people from Reddit in the comments like sending people links like, no, don't give him this deal. Don't give him this brand deal. My God, you're dealing with a scam. Some people are like, listen, it's not about you wanting to end your life. We are so happy you decided to stay alive and to live life. But somebody that made so much money out of people's misery and then never even donated a red cent, walking around with all these Bottega bags and everything. My God, where they do that at? Look at him eating that croissant. Oh my God, guys. Now, I was kind of trying to dig up, like, what's with this Ely woman? Because she's all into these fucked up individual dinners where the people got to pay for. Doesn't she see these things? Now, come to find out, they actually had some sort of a fallout, I think. And why I'm saying this is because of this. And this will really blow your mind. So your beloved Joseph. Now, mind you, the Reddit, the Substacks are going on. The people are eating his ass up. Like receipts after receipts after clips after clip. This guy, Joseph Okuntakinte, he decided to go to Poland. Sometimes he's a refugee. Sometimes he says he's an undocumented immigrant. But guys, for all you smart people out there is definitely a difference between an undocumented immigrant and a refugee. If you are a refugee, you have to go through certain legal procedures, to actually seek asylum. And I don't have to tell you the whole thing. To be an undocumented immigrant, so not having documents, they're staying somewhere illegally. And that's just what it is. Now, he took a train, which I think is a big FU to all the refugees and immigrants out here, legal or illegal. He said it himself. He grew up very privileged in Ghana. So he took a train to Poland, knowing that he overstayed his visa in the Netherlands. This is going to be a thing. But he went to Poland to visit his soon-to-be hubby. And that is where he said they got his ass. So he was detained as an immigrant, saying like he overstayed his visa. Now, when I heard that, right away, my spider senses went off from his detention, guys. Where you see people being in a detention center, posting pictures. Guys, he was posting pictures with the whole patrol officers and everything in the background. Where is this possible? People on Reddit ate it up. Where, guys, use your critical thinking. Where is this possible? He is not being detained. We don't believe. And I was so happy. I'm not the only one. I was like, I don't believe either. Like Reddit, usually I'm not very down with Reddit, because a lot of mega people down at Reddit. But this time I was like, Reddit peeps, you better come out. So they were like, he's not being detained. Mind you, he's back. Having another fucked up individuals dinner right there in the opera house. I think in Poland, the Netherlands. He's back, guys. He even posted, guys, it is so great of washing your clothes after detention, hand washing. There's no such thing like I don't know even what it says. I'm going to put it on the screen, like hand washing your clothes from detention. He actually volunteered at a hospice, guys. A hospice. They put him out the hospice because they were like, listen, this guy is filming in included rooms in the hospice area, and these people are palliative, and he's just filming the people that are ready to die, talking to them while he has a date to be in a assisted death situation as well. So I don't think it's the wisest thing that he is now volunteering here at our facility. They took him off, guys. And here is where we are. So no word of him deleting himself anymore, wanting to go on with this whole euthanasia. No word of Emmanuel anymore, because Emmanuel passed. Mind you, nobody has seen Emmanuel as of today, as of this fake picture he put up. You better go in this rabbit hole with me, because you have to keep up if I have to come back with a follow-up story. Because he's just racking up the money. And remember, he still has this case pending in Ghana from this residency. This story is not over yet. Unfiltered fam, I know this video is going to be really long, but I need you to track with me. Like, tell me, what did you think of this video? Like, he could really be an activist and really turn this into... But he chose the wrong path. Like, he's talking about mental illness and scamming people, but there's definitely something wrong with this guy. Now, put in the comments, do you think, like some of the people I saw on the internet, that like, why can't you celebrate this guy? He is a conqueror. Is that where your stance is? Or are you like, I'm involved now? This guy's crazy. This what I told you today, guys, is only a snippet. Do you think I told you everything? I told you. If I would have done that, we would be here for 2 weeks. Guys, thank you for spending time with your girl. To all my new subscribers, I love it. You'll love it here. And I love you for loving me and this channel. I'll go live soon for the first time. I want to hang out with you guys and talk about a few things that I've seen on the internet. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.